Hare Krishna, Danatranam. Let's start with Kirtan. Om Ajnanatinmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravadi Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Dishitarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Danatranam dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining today. Danatranam Mataji, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So let's continue our reading of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 20. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. So we are on the 20th chapter, and today we'll read verse 375. So Sumati Mataji, Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranams.
Dandavat.
Yadyad vibhuti sattvam Srimad urjitam eva va Taddat evavagachatvam Mama tejomsha sambhavam. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Know that all opulent, beautiful and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So we read in the previous verse that how the Lord is going to describe about the vibhutis, of Lord Krishna. So then he's quoting this verse of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita 10th chapter, as you all know, is all about the opulences of Lord Krishna. So there this verse comes where Lord Krishna says that, know that all opulent, beautiful and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. So in this shloka, it is explained that whatever beauty we see, whatever great thing we see, anything glorious, anything beautiful, someone very strong or someone possessing some very wonderful opulences, anything that is wonderful, beautiful, amazing around us, when we see something like this, we should always be reminded that it is all coming from Krishna. Nothing is separated from Krishna. And in fact, all these things, all this greatness should actually remind us of the greatness of Krishna. And this should be a reason for us to increase our remembrance of Krishna. So like once Srila Prabhupada was on a beach in the US, I think it was Miami or somewhere, or some other very famous beach in US. And so when Prabhupada used to look at the beautiful ocean water, the clear blue sky, and there the ocean is also very clean, so the clear water of the ocean, and the weather, everything was very nice. And Prabhupada would say that all these wonderful things, when we see them, they should remind us of Krishna. It's not that when we see this kind of greatness or beauty or splendor in the world, then we should just get engrossed in those things and to become more materialistic, but rather these things should remind us of how great Krishna is, when his material creation, which is coming from just a spark of his splendor, when this creation can be so wonderful, then how great and how wonderful is Krishna. So all these things are just a reason for us to remind us of Krishna's greatness. Okay. And that is what in this 10.41 Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna is saying that. And Prabhupada in the purport also explains that all these things, wonderful things around us, should always remind us of Krishna. Okay. Now let's go to the next verse, 376. Would someone like to read? Yeah, so please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. अथवा बहुना नैतेन किं ज्ञातेन तवार्जुन विष्टव्याहम् इदं कृत्स्नम् एकं शेन स्थितो जगत्. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. This is also a statement made by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita 10.42. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So then in the next shloka of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that what is the need of this detailed knowledge, that this is great, that is great, how this was created, how that was created. You should know that with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. So what is that fragment of Krishna? by which he is pervading and supporting the entire universe. You all, I'm sure you have read this shloka from Bhagavad Gita. So you know, what is that fragment of Krishna by which he is pervading everything? You all know the answer. Just try to relate it.
His energy?
Yeah, his energy, but what is he called through which he is pervading everything? Through that form, Krishna is present everywhere, even in the minute atoms.
Transcendental form.
So it's a form of Krishna. In that form, Krishna.
Paramatma Mataji.
Yes,
Paramatma.
Mataji, yes. So
Param-
through his Paramatma feature, Krishna is pervading and supporting this entire universe, right? So he's as Paramatma, Krishna is everywhere. So that itself should tell us that Paramatma is like an expansion and expansion and expansion of Krishna, and through that Paramatma he is pervading the entire and universe, supporting the entire universe. So that is how great Krishna is. Okay. Now let's go to 377. Krishnamurti Prabhu, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, Eta Kulsum Eta Kahilson. I can't pronounce it, Mataji.
Eita kahilum shakti, Prabhu. Eita kahilum shakti.
Eta Kalesum Shakti Avesha Avatara Balya Pavagunda Dharmena Sunaha Vichara. Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. It has to be little bit scroll, Mataji. Little bit scroll, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu, this is yeah. One second. One. Yeah, Prabhu. So this is the bottom of the page. Yeah.
Thus I have explained specifically empowered incarnations. Now please hear about the characteristics of Lord Krishna's childhood, boyhood, and youth. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So all the incarnations, right? Different type of incarnations have been discussed. Then finally Shaktavesha Avtaras and then Vibhutis of Krishna. And now Lord Chaitanya says that I have explained empowered incarnations. Now he's going to talk about the characteristics of Lord Krishna's childhood, boyhood, and youth. Okay, so that description is going to start now. Padmini Haripriya Mataji. Mataji, you want to read 378?
Hare Krishna Mataji. किशोर शेखराधर में व्रजेंद्रानंदना प्राकट लीला करी बारे याबाकर मना. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. As the son of Maharaja Nanda, Lord Krishna is by nature the paragon of Kishora, youth. He chooses to exhibit his pastimes at that age. Thank you, Mataji. Haribol.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So we know that Lord Krishna, when he comes and he does all his leelas, his age increases only up to a particular level. It's not like Krishna grows middle-aged and then he becomes old. At the time of Mahabharat war, he was 125 years old, but he was still in the Kishore form. So that's what is mentioned here, that Lord Krishna is by nature the paragon of Kishore. That means he is always in the youthful form, and he chooses to exhibit his pastimes at that age. Okay, so his childhood pastimes will be there. Then he will grow, and he will only grow up to the level of the Kishore age. He doesn't grow older than that. 379. Chandana Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. आदौ प्रकटकरया माता पिता भक्तगणे पाचे प्रकटहाया जन्माधिकलीलक्रमे. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Before his personal appearance, the Lord causes some of his devotees to appear as his mother, father, and intimate associates. He then appears later as if he were taking birth and growing from a baby to a child and gradually into a youth. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So it's like the way the Lord appears, and he arranges for his Nitya Bhaktas, Nitya Siddha Bhaktas, his eternal associates to also take birth, as his family, as his intimate associates, and then he appears. So it seems that he's taking birth, but the Lord is just making an appearance for the sake of pastime. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji. This Kishore up to what age? 18 or 16?
16.
16. Okay, thank you.
Yes, Sindhu Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Pranams, Mataji. Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji.
Vayasho vividhatvepi sarva bhakti rasharaya dharmi kishora evatra nitya lila vilasavan. Translation. His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is eternally enjoying himself, and he is the shelter of all kinds of devotional service. Although his ages are various, his age known as Kishora, pre-youth, is best of all. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So this we had references from Bhagavad Gita about Krishna's vibhutis, and now this reference is from Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu about Krishna's age. So it is mentioned that Krishna is eternally enjoying himself. He's the shelter of all kinds of devotional service. Although his ages are various, his age known as Kishore is best of all. Okay. Go to 381. Someone like to read? Yeah, Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranam.
Dhanwad.
पूतना वदाति यत लीला शणे शणे सब लीला नित्या प्रकट करे अनुक्रमे. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When Lord Krishna appears from moment to moment, he exhibits his different pastimes, beginning with the killing of Putana. All these pastimes are eternally being demonstrated one after another. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, killing of Putana was the first pastime Krishna enacted, right? He was just a few days old when Putana came. So, beginning with the killing of Putana, he has his different pastimes. And it is mentioned that all these pastimes are eternally being demonstrated one after another. Okay, we'll read more about this perpetuality and how continuously all these pastimes are happening in the coming few verses. Yeah. So, Padmini Haripriya Mataji, you want to read 382?
Yes, Mataji. Nanta Brahmanda Tara Nahi Kaganana Kona Lila Kona Brahmande Haya Prakatana. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The consecutive pastimes of Krishna are being manifested in one of the innumerable universes, moment after moment. There is no possibility of counting the universes, but in any case, some pastimes of Lord is being manifested at every moment in one universe or another. Thank you, Mataji. Haribol.
Haribol. Thank you, Mataji. So, like there are innumerable universes, right? This is one universe in which we have this one planet. There are many, many universes, and it is mentioned that they're countless. So there is no possibility of counting these. But the pastimes of Lord Krishna are such that if in this universe one pastime gets over, it will start in another universe, and then in another, and then in another. So in this way, the pastimes of Lord Krishna are continuously taking place. So it's not that if killing of Putna pastime is over in our universe, then it is over forever. No, eternally, even now, that pastime must be happening in some universe. So in this way, it is like the movement of the sun. For us, it is afternoon time here, right? And then after some hours, we'll not be able to see the sun, but the sun is still existing. It will be now rising in America, in Europe, and all those things that cyclically it will keep happening. So in this way, like the movement of the sun, in this globe, someplace will be having night, some place will be having day. So the pastimes of Krishna are continuously taking place in some universe or the other. So at every movement, the Leelas are happening. When the sun disappears from our sight, it looks like it is going down the ocean, right? But it is not actually going down the ocean. It is spreading its glow in another part of the globe. So, if one pastime is over in our universe, that means that in another universe it would be starting. So, Krishna neither is he born, neither does he die, but he moves from one universe to the another, performing all these pastimes. So, like it is explained by acharyas that it's not that if Krishna is coming to do his pastimes in the material world, then there is no Krishna in the spiritual world. No, Krishna is still there also, and pastimes are taking place there also. He expands himself. So, in this way, he expands himself across various universes also. And that is why it is mentioned in any case, some pastime of the Lord is being manifested at every moment in one universe or another. Okay, it may seem very inconceivable, but that is actually the fact. Krishna's potency is inconceivable. Okay, now let's go to 383. Swati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeyi mata sabalila yena Gangadhara se Lila Prakata Kare Gajendra Kumara. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus the Lord's pastimes are like the flowing Ganges water. In this way, all pastimes are manifested by the son of Nanda Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, like the Ganges water is continuously flowing, in this way the pastimes manifested by the Lord are also flowing. So, they are continuously taking place. Okay. So, the same with the sun example, the flowing of the Ganges example, we have to understand that Krishna's pastimes keep on taking place. Okay. Padma Mataji, you want to read? 384.
Yes, Mataji. Kramabad Kaishorata Prapti. That one, no, Mataji?
Krame Balya Poganda Keshwara
Yeah.
Prapti.
Prapti. Prasadi Lila Kare Kishora Nitya Sthiti. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Krishna exhibits his pastimes of childhood, boyhood, and pre-youth. When he reaches his pre-youth, he continues to exist externally to perform his rasa dance and other pastimes. Purport also, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, please read.
Yeah. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The comparison made here is very interesting. Krishna does not grow like an ordinary human being, even though he exhibits his pastimes of childhood, boyhood, and pre-youth. When he reaches the age of pre-youth, Kaishora, he does not grow any older. He simply remains in his Kaishora age. He is therefore described in the Brahma Samhita 533 as Nava Yauvana. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Madhyam Purana Purusham Nava Yauvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Madurlabam Atma Bhaktau Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajani. This Nava Yauvana or pre-youth is an external transcendental form of Krishna. Krishna never grows older than Nava Yauvana. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Is my volume low for everyone?
No, Mataji.
It's clear.
No Mataji.
So this shloka, the reference from Brahma Samhita is also coming. So Lord Krishna exhibits his pastimes of childhood, boyhood, pre-youth. So he doesn't reach that youth age. When he reaches pre-youth, he continues to exist eternally to perform his rasa dance and other pastimes. So Prabhupada is explaining that Krishna does not grow old like an ordinary human being, even though he exhibits his pastimes of childhood, boyhood, pre-youth. And when he reaches the age of pre-youth, he does not grow any older. So his age remains at the Keshora age. And then this reference from Brahma Samhita 5.33. So this second line, Adyam Purana Purusham Nava Yovanam Cha. Adyam Purana Purusham. So he is the original Supreme Lord. Adyam Purana Purusham. Okay, but yet he is Nava Yovanam cha. So he's always Nava Yovana, pre-youth. That is the eternal transcendental form of Krishna. He never grows older than Nava Yovana. Okay, now let's go to 385. Chandana Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Nitya Lila Krishnera Sarva Shastra Kaye Ujita na Pare Lila Ke Mana Nitya Haya. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Descriptions of Krishna's eternal pastimes are in all the relevant scriptures, but one cannot understand how they are continuing eternally. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So yes, we are reading that Krishna's pastimes are eternal, right? So how is it actually eternal? That is actually very inconceivable, very difficult to understand. But that is what is explained by our acharyas through that example of the sun, that like the sun appears in front of us and disappears, but the sun always remains. In the same way, the Lord's pastimes always keep happening in one universe or the other. Okay, now let's read 386. Sudha Mataji, you want to read?
हरे कृष्ण माता जी प्रणाम। दृष्टांता दिया कहे तबे लोक यदि जाने कृष्ण लीला नित्या ज्योतिष चक्र प्रमाणे। Translation by Divine Guru Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Let me give an example by which people may understand Lord Krishna's eternal pastimes. An example can be found in the zodiac. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So the same thing, the example of the zodiac, that means as the sun moves across the various zodiacs, as it moves around the globe, it still is the same sun. It is just appearing and disappearing from our vision. So through that, we understand Lord Krishna's eternal pastimes, that these pastimes don't really stop at any point. If they are stopping in one universe, they are continuing in another. Okay. Let's go to the next shloka. Swati Mataji, 387.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी।
Hare Krishna.
ज्योतिषकारे सूर्येन स्थिरे रात्रि दिने सप्त द्वीपं भुदिथंगे स्थिरे कारमे खारमे। Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The sun moves across the zodiac day and night and crosses the ocean between the seven islands, one after another.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mata.
Hare Krishna, thank you. So the same description is continuing to help us understand the eternality of Krishna's pastimes. Okay. Now let's go to 388. Lalita Vinodini Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Ratri dine haya sati danda parimana tina sahasra chaya shata palataramana. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. According to Vedic astronomical calculations, the rotation of the sun consists of 60 dandas and it is divided into 3600 palas.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji. So this shloka and the upcoming 2-3 shlokas are going to give the description of this astronomical calculations. Okay. So now let's go to the next shloka, 389. Padmini Haripriya Mataji. Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji, yes Mataji. Suryodaya haite sasti pala kramodaya sei eka danda asta dande praharahaya. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The sun rises in steps consisting of 60 pallas. 60 pallas equal one danda, and 8 dandas comprise one prahara. Thank you, Mataji Karibol.
Hare Krishna. So this is the continuation of the description of the calculations about the sun. Now let's read 390. Lalita Vinodini Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. एक दुई तीन चारी प्रहरे अष्टप्रया चारी प्रहर रात्रि गेले पुनः सूर्योदया. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The day and the night are divided into 8 praharas, 4 belonging to the day and 4 belonging to the night. After 8 praharas, the sun rises again. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So I think this prahara word may be familiar to some of us, because that is still used in some places. So there are 8 praharas in total, 4 for the day, 4 for the night, and after 8 praharas, the sun rises again. So these kind of calculations were more prevalent when we didn't have the conventional time or the clock and all that we use now, watches and all. So people used to see that, okay, from one prahar to the other prahar is taking place, and with the movement of the sun, they could judge that also. There were some expert people like that. Okay. Now let's go to 391. Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji,
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna.
ICF Krishnera Lila Mandala Chauda Manvantare Brahmanda Mandala Vyapi Krame Krame Pire. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Just as there is an orbit of the sun, there is an orbit of Krishna's pastimes, which are manifested one after the other. During the lifetime of 14 Manus, this orbit expands through all the universes and gradually it returns. Thus, Krishna moves with his pastimes through all the universes and one after another. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna. So, what is the orbit of the sun? It is the pathway that the sun follows, right? It moves and then it comes back to its position. So, in the same way, Krishna's pastimes will take in one universe, then the next, then the next, then the next. In this way, they'll keep happening and gradually it returns. So, Krishna moves with his pastimes through all the universes, one after another. So, see, we are reading so many shlokas which are stressing this point about how Krishna's pastimes are continuously taking place. So we have to be very sure, and through these shlokas, be very convinced that if Krishna's pastimes are taking place here, then they will next take place in another universe, and in this way, they are eternally taking place. Okay. Now let's go to 392. Would someone like to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I read?
Yes, Mataji, please.
सयोयस्तवत्सर कृष्णेर प्रकट प्रकाश ताह यचे व्रजपुरे करिला vilasa. Translation: Krishna remains within a universe for 125 years and he enjoys his pastimes both in Vrindavana and Dwaraka. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So that's the duration of Krishna's pastimes. He stays in the universe for 125 years. And during this period, he has pastimes in Vrindavan and Dwarka. Okay. Padma Mataji, want to read the next shloka, 393?
Yes, Mataji. Alata chakra praya sei Lila chakra fire Sab Lila sab brahmande Krame udaya kare. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The cycle of these pastimes turn like a wheel of fire. Thus, Krishna exhibits his pastimes one after the other in every universe. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Just like, we may have seen in some circus or some, other places where if there is a like a glow torch or they have they have fire attached to one long piece of cloth or string, and they move it continuously. So if they move it so fast, or a glow torch, if you move it very fast, it looks like a circle of fire, right? Like a wheel of fire. So that's what Krishna's pastimes are compared to. The cycle of his pastime turns like a wheel of fire. It is continuously happening, one universe to the other, and his pastimes one after another in every universe. He exhibits it like this. So it appears like, a wheel of fire. Okay. Now let's go to 394. Swati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Janma balya pauganda Kaishora prakasha Putana vadhadikari Mausalanta Vilasa. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Krishna pastimes, appearance, childhood, boyhood, and youth are all manifested beginning with the killing of Putana and extending to the end of the Mausala Lila, the annihilation of Edo dynasty. All of the pastimes are rotating in every universe. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So Putana's killing, and then the next pastime, and the next, and the next. So here it is happening one after the other. As soon as one pastime is over here, it is taking place in the other. And this goes on till the annihilation of the Yadu dynasty, which is the last pastime that Krishna enacts. So all of these pastimes are rotating in every universe. Now this one thing that that we should be very convinced about is the eternality of Krishna's pastimes. And then this should also fill us with wonder that, oh, Krishna is so wonderful. It's not like he performed one pastime here and he gets tired. No, he expands and performs that same pastime in another universe and then in another, and it is continuously happening. We cannot count the universes, so we cannot count how many times the same pastime is taking place. That's how wonderful Lord Krishna is. Okay, now let's go to the next 395. Uma Kulkarni Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Kona Brahmande Kona Lila Rahaya Avasthana Tate Lila Nitya Kahe Agama Purana. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Since all Krishna's pastimes are taking place continuously, at every moment some pastime is existing in one universe or another. Consequently, these pastimes are called eternal by the Vedas and Puranas.
Thank you, Mataji. So what is eternal, which exists all the time? And Krishna's pastimes are existing in some universe or the other all the time. And that is why these pastimes are called eternal by the Vedas and Puranas. So I'm sure we must have read that Krishna's eternal pastimes. We must have read or heard this several times. Now we understand why they are called eternal, because they are existing in one universe or the other all the time at every single moment. Okay. Now let's go to 396. Swati Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Goloka Gokula Dama Vibhu Krishna Sama Krishna Chaya Bhumanda Ghane Tahara Sankrama. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The transcendental abode known as Goloka, which is a pasturing land for Surabhi cows, is as powerful and opulent as Krishna. By the will of Krishna, the original Goloka and Gokula Dhamas are manifested with him in all the universes. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is the greatness of Goloka Vrindavan, which is a pasturing land for Surabhi cows. It is as powerful and opulent as Krishna. So Krishna's dham, his pastimes, his name, everything is equally potent, right? Equally powerful. So the dham is also powerful like Krishna. And when Krishna comes and he does his pastimes in the various universes, the dham also manifests itself. Okay. So that is why we say that the dham where the Lord has performed his pastimes, these are not ordinary places of this universe. They are actually spiritual places. Okay. Now let's read 397. Padmini Haripriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Atave golokasthane nitya vihara brahmandagane krame prakatya tahara. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The eternal pastimes of Krishna are continuously taking place in the original Golok of Vrindavana planet. These same pastimes are gradually manifested within the material world in each and every Brahmanda. Papa, do you want me to read Mataji?
It's okay, Mataji. I'll read it in parts and we'll try to understand. Thank you. Thank you so much. So here it is mentioned that the eternal pastimes of Krishna are continuously taking place in the original Goloka planet also. It's not that if Krishna is performing pastimes here, then they pastimes stop there. No, pastimes are taking place in Goloka Vrindavan also. And these same pastimes are gradually manifested within the material world in each and every Brahmanda. So they take place in every Brahmanda. So then Prabhupada explains in the purport that his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, has explained this, this complicated explanation of Krishna's pastimes. And he has mentioned that Krishna's pastimes are always present in the material world in one of the many universes. Same pastime is definitely present in some universe or the other, and they appear one after the other, just like we discussed the movement of the sun in the sky. Krishna's appearance may be manifested in this universe at one moment, and immediately after his birth, this pastime is manifested in the next universe. So Krishna is in this universe, his birth pastime. Then in the next universe, also again he is taking birth. Then again, he's taking birth in the various universes. So one after the other. And then one after the other, all the pastimes take place. They are existing both in the original spiritual Goloka Vrindavan planet and in the material universes. And the 125 years calculated in our solar system to be Krishna's lifetime equal one moment for Krishna. For us, it is 125 years, but for Krishna, it is one moment. So he's here in this universe for one moment, then the other, and for him, it is just one moment. Okay. One moment these pastimes are manifested in one universe, and the next moment in the next universe. So, and as we have discussed, there are unlimited universes, and in this way, Krishna's pastimes are manifested in all. So this rotation is explained with the rotation of the sun in the sky. We have discussed how sun appears during the day and then it appears to set. So in the same way, Krishna's pastimes appear and they disappear, but they don't actually they're not actually stopped. They just disappear from our vision. Thus, all of Krishna's Leelas are present simultaneously throughout the innumerable universes. But the problem is that with our limited senses, we cannot appreciate this. That is why Krishna's pastimes are very difficult to understand. Because we try to understand everything with respect to how we see things logically around us. So this doesn't make logical sense to us, so many people will not believe it. How is it possible? But that is where we have to understand that our senses are limited and the Lord is unlimited. So with our limited senses, with our faulty senses, we cannot expect to understand the Lord. All we have to do is have faith in the scripture and follow what the Shastra is telling us. Okay. So although the Lord is appearing constantly in the material universes, his pastimes are eternally present in Goloka Vrindavan also. Therefore, these pastimes are called Nitya Lila, eternally present pastimes. Okay. Because we cannot see the other universes, it is difficult for us to understand. Okay. But they are eternally present. Then Prabhupada explains that there are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma, and this time calculation is also taking place in other universes. Krishna's pastimes are manifested before 14 Manus expire. So in their duration, their span itself, all the pastimes take place. So we must accept the verdict of the Vedic literatures, even though it is difficult for us to logically understand this. Then Prabhupada explains that there are two types of devotees. There are sadhakas who are still trying to get to perfection, and there are siddhas who are already perfect. So as far as those who are already perfect are concerned, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that after giving up this material body, such a devotee comes to me. Okay. So the devotees of the Lord who have reached the stage of perfection, they go back and they leave this material body forever and they go back to Krishna. Okay, they never come to the womb of another mother in this universe, but they take birth from the womb of a gopi on a planet where Krishna's pastimes are going on. Okay, this is for the perfect devotees. This may be in this universe or another universe. So this is from Ujjwal Neelamani, which is commented upon by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. When a devotee, and this is important, when a devotee becomes perfect, he is transferred to a universe where Krishna's pastimes are taking place. Krishna's eternal associates go wherever Krishna manifests his pastime. As stated before, First, the father and mother of Krishna appear, then the other associate. Quitting his material body, the perfect devotee also goes to associate with Krishna and his other associates. So they become associates of Krishna, the perfected devotees, and they then take part in Krishna's pastimes. Okay. Now let's go to the next shloka, 398. Chandana Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, I have one doubt. Can I ask now?
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, this means the sadhakas and the siddhas were there. So we need to take many births to reach the supreme, no, Mataji? Is it right?
Mataji, sadhakas are still in the process of purification. So they are not yet perfected. So they may not go back to Krishna in this lifetime. They are still trying for perfection. The siddhas, they don't take a material body. They take spiritual bodies, like they are born to a gopi and they are able to associate with Krishna's eternal pastimes. Did I answer your question? Or
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji, I understood. Thank you, Mataji.
Sadhakas are still trying for perfection, Mataji. Then they will reach the stage of Siddha once they achieve purification fully.
So at least they are in the right path, no, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Like Krishna says now that even if the yogi is unsuccessful, they will if the if they are unsuccessful with just a short practice, then also at least they'll get a birth in a righteous family or in an aristocratic family. And if it is after a prolonged period of sadhana, if they're still unsuccessful, they will get a chance by being born in a family of devotees so that they can take it forward. So yes, definitely they are on the best path. It's just that the siddhas are already perfected, sadhakas are on the way to perfection.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much.
So that means, Mataji, now if a person has come to a certain stage and is unable to complete, unable to go further, then in his next birth he'll start from where he has stopped, no?
Yes,
is that right?
Yes,
that's
that is true for Krishna Bhakti. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Krishna Bhakti, that is the special quality of Krishna Bhakti, that you will start where you stopped in the previous birth. It never goes for a loss. 2.40 Krishna says, na, there is no loss or diminution in this path. So till whatever level we complete in one life, if we are not able to achieve perfection, next birth will start from that level. It will not go.
Also, is it true, Mataji, when you take the shelter of a guru, if you are unable to go in the first birth, second, third birth, he'll definitely take you, provided you have to, Is it true?
Yes, it is true that the guru always comes back to take the disciples. He never leaves the disciples.
How many births, Mataji?
I don't think there is a number. I'm not aware if there is
I
a number.
heard 3 births. I don't know.
I'll check about that. But this is for sure that once Guru holds your hand, I'm for sure he will take you back. But we should be sincere. We should not take advantage of
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Mataji.
So,
shall I read, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, please do.
व्रजे कृष्ण सर्वैश्वर्य प्रकाशे पूर्णतमा पूरी द्वये परव्योमे पूर्णतरु पूर्ण. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Krishna is complete in the spiritual sky, Vaikunta. He is more complete in Mathura and Dwaraka, and he is most complete in Vrindavana. Vraja, due to his manifesting all his opulence. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So this is from Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. And Prabhupada is saying this is confirmed in the following 3 verses from Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. So that will come. But the thing to be noted here is the completeness of Krishna. Krishna is always complete, but devotees say that he is complete, more complete, and most complete. So he is complete in Vaikuntha, more complete in Mathura and Dwarka, and is most complete in Vrindavan because he manifests all his opulences in full. Okay, so that is the special thing about Vrindavan. Okay.
Mataji, repeat that sentence, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Most.
He is complete in Vaikuntha. He is more complete in Mathura and Dwarka, and he is most complete in Vrindavan. That is what that shloka is.
Thank you, Mataji.
Same thing is coming here also, Mataji. Next verse also. Swati Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Hari Puratama Purna Tara Purna Iti Trida Shrestha Madhya Diphi Shabdhir Nathyeya Paripathyate. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ji. This is stated that dramatic literatures as perfect, more perfect, and most perfect. The Lord Krishna manifests himself in three ways: perfect, more perfect, and most perfect.
Yes,
Thank
like
you,
we have.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Like complete, more complete, most complete. So he's perfect, more perfect, most perfect. So he's perfect in Vaikuntha also, but he's more perfect in Mathura Dwarka, and he's most perfect in Vrindavan. Okay. Yeah. 400. Anyone else?
Can I read, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Please read.
प्रकाशितैला गुणा स्मर्था पुनर्थमो बुद्धै असर्वव्यझानिका पूर्णा तारापूर्णो लपादर्शकः. Translation: When the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not manifest all his transcendental qualities, he is called complete. When all the qualities are manifested but not fully, he is called more complete. When he manifests all his qualities in fullness, he is called most complete. This is the version of all learned scholars in the devotional science. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. So, what is the difference between complete, more complete, most complete? Complete means he doesn't manifest all his qualities, and more complete means he is manifesting all his qualities, but not fully. And most complete is when he is manifesting all his qualities to the utmost level, all his qualities in fullness. And that is happening in Vrindavan, right? Where his the Lila Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, everything. There is nothing that Krishna leaves. Vrindavan is the utmost, the topmost. So that is what is mentioned, that this is the version of all learned scholars in the devotional science. He is most complete in Vrindavan. Okay, that is why it is the highest level of bhakti, which he has in uh, highest level of bhakti is for that form of Krishna which he has in Vrindavan, which the gopis and Radharani have that kind of love for Krishna. Okay. Yeah. Swati Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
कृष्णस्य पूर्णतामत व्यक्ताभूत् गोलकान्तरे पूर्णरथ द्वारकामधुरादिशो. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The most complete qualities of Krishna are manifested within Vrindavana, and his complete and more complete qualities are manifested in Dwaraka and Mathura. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So the same point is explained about how it is the supreme most, the pastimes, the qualities of Krishna in Vrindavan. Okay. Anyone else would like to read 402? We are reaching the end of this chapter now. We just have till 406. So would someone like to read? Chandana Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Ei Krishna vraje purnatama Ei Krishna vraje purnatama Bhagavan Arasabha Swarupa Purna Tara Purna Nama. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord Krishna is the most complete Supreme Personality of Godhead in Vrindavana. Elsewhere, all his expansions are either complete or more complete. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So the Lord is most complete Supreme Personality of Godhead in Vrindavan. Elsewhere, all his expansions are either complete or more complete. So that's three gradations that we had spoken about. Okay. Now 403. Uma Devi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. संक्षेपे कहिलुन कृष्णेर स्वरूप विचारा अनंत कहिते नारे इहारा विस्तारा. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus, I have briefly described Krishna's manifestation of transcendental forms. This subject matter is so large that even Lord Ananta cannot describe it fully. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So you all know Ananta Sheshji has 1,000 hoods. With his 1,000 hoods also, if he keeps describing, still he is not able to describe fully. So Krishna's manifestation, his form, his gunas, his pastimes are so vast that Ananta Shesh with his 1,000 mouths also is not able to fully glorify the Lord. That is how great Lord Krishna is. Okay. Next, Uma Kulkarni Mataji, want to read 404?
Yes, yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Ananta Swarupa Krishnera Nahi Ka Ganana Shaka Chandra Nyaye Kari Digdarshana. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. In this way, Krishna's transcendental forms are expanded unlimitedly. No one can count them. Whatever I have explained is simply a little glimpse. It is like showing the spoon through the branches of a tree.
Thank you, Mataji. So if it is mentioned that Krishna's forms are expanded unlimitedly, no one can count them, and whatever has been explained is just a glimpse. So if we see the moon through the branches of a tree, we do get a glimpse of the moon, but that is not the moon in its completeness. So the Lord's forms are so vast and so unlimited that it's not possible to fully describe them. Okay. Raji Lakshmi Mataji, you want to read 405?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
इह ये सुने पादे सेई भगवान कृष्णेर स्वरूप तत्वेरा आया किचु ज्ञाना. Translation by Bhakti Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Whoever hears or recites these descriptions of the expansions of Krishna's body is certainly a very fortunate man. Although this is very difficult to understand, one can nonetheless acquire some knowledge about the different features of Krishna's body. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So this shloka is actually the Falashruti. It's mentioned that whoever hears or recites these descriptions of the expansions of Krishna's body is certainly a very fortunate man. Although very difficult to understand, one can nonetheless acquire some knowledge about the different features of Krishna's body. So yes, we can understand some part of it, but to fully understand, to fully conceive, it's very difficult because Lord's forms are oceanic. Okay. Sudha Mataji, last shloka.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yara Asha Chaitanya Charitramrite Kahe Krishna Dasa. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunatha, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadasa, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita following in their footsteps. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purpose to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, the 20th chapter, describing how Sanatana Goswami met the Lord at Varanasi and received knowledge of the Absolute Truth. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, in his humility and devotion, is praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa, Shri Raghunath, desiring their mercy, and he is narrating Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. So, with this, the chapter 20 comes to an end. We'll just take 2 minutes to have a very quick survey, quick summary of what we have read in chapter 20. Just to recap. So chapter 20, very interesting because it starts with Sanatan Goswami escaping from jail, and it was very exciting. And then, he comes to a very difficult region, very difficult terrain, and because he has been a government official who was jailed, so he cannot just move very openly. He has to move in disguise, and he has to be very careful that he's not seen in plain sight. So he moves gradually towards Varanasi, and he meets his brother-in-law Shrikant. Then, in his disguise, finally he reaches Varanasi, and there he meets Mahaprabhu. Then we read about the renunciation of Sanatan Goswami, because when he was given a new cloth, he did not accept that. He asked for an old cloth to wear, and his renunciation greatly pleased Mahaprabhu. And he also refused to eat with Mahaprabhu. He said that I'm going to eat after, and so he later took the remnants of Mahaprabhu. And he does not accept the full meal that a Brahmana offers at his home. He says that I'm a mendicant, I'm going to just do madhukari and take whatever I get by the Lord's mercy. And he also gives away the costly blanket which his brother-in-law had given him, and he exchanges it for a very, very simple torn cloth. So we see his renunciation, and then Shloka 94 onwards, we see his inquiries to Lord Chaitanya. Who am I? Why do I suffer? And then the question and answer starts. And then the Lord explains about Jiva, the entanglement with Maya, then way out of entanglement, Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan, all that was discussed. Then the various, the vast section of the description of the incarnations of the Lord started. How the Lord comes in different forms in this world so mercifully to bestow different methods of worship, so that in some way or the other, the jiva gets this desire to go back to Krishna. And just like then we read that how just like the sun moves from one zodiac to the other, Krishna's activities move from one universe to the other. So essentially the Sambandha Gyan was greatly highlighted in this section. And we read about what all Krishna does for the jivas, right? So, and also that we should not accept any ordinary person as an incarnation, because we read about the greatness of Krishna. So we have to be very cautious, very careful, and we have to understand that who actually classifies as an incarnation of Krishna, not any common person who has some who can show some magical feat. We should not accept them as an incarnation, but being an incarnation of Krishna, one has to fulfill all the different conditions that we read about, right? So in this way, we have read about so many different subject matters in this chapter, and then tomorrow onwards we'll go to chapter 21. Okay, so we'll stop here.
Mataji, one doubt.
Yes, Mataji.
The complete manifestation of Krishna is seen in Vrindavan. Then more complete is Dwaraka, and most complete is Mathura.
No,
Is it right,
Mataji,
Mataji?
the other way around. It's complete in Vaikuntha, more complete in Dwarka and Mathura, and most complete in Vrindavan. Vrindavan is the topmost.
Okay, Mataji.
Vaikuntha, then
Vaikuntha,
Dwarka, Mathura, then Vrindavan.
there is no Dwaraka. No.
Mathura and Dwarka are more complete. Complete
Okay.
is Vaikuntha, and then more complete is Mathura and Dwarka. Most complete is Vrindavan.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Dambo.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes,
Mataji, thank you so much, Mataji. It was a wonderful session. You have taken us to another universe, and I had never thought about these activities. Krishna's pastimes will be going on. Nobody told us before. I have never learned before, but it's so wonderful, so sweet. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, that's the greatness of our scriptures, right? As we are reading, there are so many different things we are finding out. No, that is actually greatness of our scriptures and greatness of Srila Prabhupada, that he has given all these scriptures to us in such simple language.
Yes, Mataji. Imagining also, it is very, very nice, Mataji. Thank you so much.
So true, Mataji.
Hare
All
Krishna, Mataji.
Mataji,
Krishna,
everyone who goes to Vaikuntha, they have four-handed. They have four hands. Everyone, every person.
Mataji, there are different type of Vaikunthas also. Like there is Ayodhya also, which is Vaikuntha planet only. So there,
Okay.
I don't think they have four-handed form. There are different Vaikunthas. Yeah.
Okay. So depending on the type of the like the features of the Lord, as per that you also get your okay.
Yes, yes.
But Mathura and Dwaraka, it's normal, no, two hand.
Yes, Mataji, those are part of the topmost pearl, na? So
Yeah.
there is the two hands.
Two hands. Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
And Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Different forms of Krishna, like Narsimdev has his own planet, Varadev will have his own planet.
Yeah.
It's really amazing.
Amazing, really can't believe also.
Yeah, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
So today we came to know that in all the Brahmandas he is doing his pastimes and he is present in all the Brahmandas. Is it
Yes.
not, Mataji?
Yes, yes,
And,
Mataji.
yes. And what about this Narsimha Avatar and other avatars, Mataji? Will they come in every kalpa? Or
Yeah, Mataji, the Kalpa avatars, they may different. They may differ.
Just
Yeah. Yeah, and actually the way some pastimes are also, there is Kalpa Bhed also. The same
yes,
pastime
Mataji.
may happen slightly different in different Kalpas also.
Okay,
So
okay,
variation will be there, but nursing they will come maybe slightly in different way the pastime will take place.
okay. So they say, so
Hmm.
Narsimha Avatar was done in Ahobalam also. And in
Mhm.
different places also they say he came there also, his avatar was there also. So
Okay.
in that means he comes in every kalpa like that. I wanted to know that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Kalpa Bhed, yeah.
Hmm.
In different kalpas, the pastime may happen differently, Mataji. So
Okay,
what
okay.
we are hearing, if we are hearing from authorized sources
Yes.
and we are hearing different accounts, then that
Yes.
could be because of Kalpa Bhed.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, one more thing. The Nava there no Mataji. It comes in different times, or at a time he did all the past tense Mataji. Nava that Yoga Narasimha, Dhyana Narasimha, like that things.
Yeah, Mataji, I think those are the different forms of Lord Narasimha that the Lord takes in every time he comes.
Means at
Like
the time of Prahlad Maharaj's time, he did all nine. He performed all nine.
I'll have to check that, Mataji. I'll have to check that. Because like Varadev, when he comes in different complexions every time. So you're saying that when he came in our this particular cycle, did he show all the 9 forms? Is that your question?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Okay, I'll check that, Mataji. When he comes, does he come in all 9 forms or do the forms keep changing? I'll check that.
Okay, Mataji. Mataji, one more thing I want to say. Last week I went to Simhachalam Mataji.
Oh,
Varaha Narasimha.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for letting us know. Yeah, that's wonderful. Just 1 minute I'll take to answer the question that we had discussed last Thursday. The question was by Arun Gupta Prabhu. I think he didn't join today. The question was that how can Brahmaji, who is a living entity, how can he be a Guna Avatar? So we have taken clarification from senior devotees and they have explained that it doesn't matter even that if he's a Jiva, he cannot become a Guna Avatar. See, because Lord Shiva also is not Vishnu Tattva, but still he is a Guna Avatar. So that is just a role that Lord Krishna gives to him and he empowers him to perform that seva. And because the mode of passion has to be there for creation and he is the first living entity, so he gets that, he is in charge of that particular guna of creation and he does that seva. So it doesn't matter if he's a jiva tattva. Okay, so it is just an empowerment that the Lord gives to him for the purpose of creation. Okay.
So it means that living entity can do an avatar, Guna
Yes, I
avatar.
mean the Lord has to empower. So it doesn't have to
Okay.
be that only Vishnu can be a Guna Avatar.
Yes,
Because Lord
yes.
Shiva is also Guna Avatar, even though he is not Vishnu Tattva.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you all so much. Srila Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita की जय, श्रीला कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय,
सुप्रभात की जय।
गुरु महाराज की जय, वांछा कल्पद्रुभ्यश्च
कृपा
कृपा
सिंधुभ्यः एव
सिन्धुभ्यश्च
च
पतितानां
पतितानां
पावनेभ्यो
पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमो नमः।
नमो नमः। नमोऽस्तुते वैष्णवेभ्यो
कोटि
जय।
वैष्णव की जय। मानसी माता जी की जय।
All glories to Srila
माता जी,
Prabhupada.
Thank
you are
All glories.
teaching us.
you, Mataji.
Thank you,
Hare
thank
Krishna
you.
Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Dandavat pranam माता जी.
Hari
Thank you
Bol,
so
Jai
much.
Krishna, Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.